So there's currently a change on the New World Season 2 PTR that could make getting a lot of PvE items a whole lot easier. You do have a chance to get some really good items using this method. However, bear in mind, this is still very RNG like a lot of things in New World, but in my opinion, this is an excellent change and one that should have been made a long time ago. So the change that I'm talking about here is a change made to corrupted breaches and the loot that you get from completing these breaches. So if we take a look at the New World Season 2 PTR patch notes, you can see here that corrupted breaches rewards have also been updated with the new armor and weapons. These new items are guaranteed to always roll one family bane or ward perk when dropped for players and use the appearances of previous corruption breach items. The old armor and weapons will no longer drop, and new elite items can now drop plus family bane ward perk crafting mods. This is really nice because now we are going to have an opportunity to get bane and ward gear from these corrupted breaches. And before I get too terribly deep and showing you guys all the loot that we did get from testing from running these breaches, I want to give a massive shout out to some of these people that helped me run some of these major breaches on the PTR. They took time out of their day to come help me run these things whenever they didn't have to. I really appreciate that because running them by myself was going to take forever. The really good loot comes out of the major breaches, and running the higher level major breaches alone can be very challenging, especially on the PTR when you don't have all of the proper gear. So running these in a group made this a whole lot easier. So a big thank you to those of you that came and helped me test this. I greatly appreciate you guys. And as a side note, I did run some of the minor breaches as well, and those also drop ward and bane gear, but I don't think they drop the ward and bane gear that you can upgrade to legendary, making them not near as lucrative. So from the testing that I performed on the PTR, the breaches that you're going to want to run are the higher level major corrupted breaches, the really big ones that you see on the map. Those are the ones you're going to want to target. So after we cleared the first breach, I opened up the first cache, and you can see here that we received a few different items. I did have a blue spear and a green great axe, obviously not ideal, but in the middle there we do have a breach closer's void gauntlet of the scholar. It's worth noting that the items that are named breach for the weapons, and then the items that are named void slayer for the armor, those are the items that can upgrade to legendary and give you the third perk. And obviously the named items can as well, but you will get some other items that drop that aren't named breach or void in the title. Those do not upgrade to legendary, so you don't want to waste your shards on those. However, whenever we did upgrade some of these items, we did get some decent things. And then as you see with this breach closer's void gauntlet of the scholar, we upgrade this to legendary, and we now have a pretty decent void gauntlet. We have Simple with Keen, Nullifying Oblivion, and Lost Bane on there. So if you're looking for a Lost Bane weapon in the form of a void gauntlet, this would not be a bad one for you if you were trying to get this for free. So if you're looking for PvE gear, whenever this patch is live, it's expected to go live early July. Whenever this happens, this would be something very lucrative for you to go do. Just go grind portals for a few days and try to see what you get if you want to test your luck versus crafting items or spending a lot of money trying to get geared out. And then you can see some of the linked items that were linked by the party. There's the Agony that has Lost Bane and Luck. I'm not sure what the third perk is on there, but we also have one that has Angry Earth Bane and Resupplying Mortar Charge, and then Human Bane Empowering Leaping Strike on this sword, which is definitely a sword that I would use in PvE for sure. And one thing to take note of is both of these items here have breach in the title. That means they will upgrade to legendary. So he did upgrade these to legendary. He upgraded both the blunderbuss and the sword, and the blunderbuss ended up getting Angry Earth Bane, Resupplying Mortar Charge, and Life Stilling, and then the sword has Human Bane, Mortal Energy, and Empowering Leaping Strike with Dex. So again, those may not be 3 perk complete BiS items, but they are really good, and you could use these items and bump them all the way up to 625 until you got a better item in order to use those for those particular mob types. I don't think that would be a bad way to go at all. These are completely free and very good items that come out of these crates. Also worth pointing out here was another very weird thing that happened whenever we were farming these crates. Someone in our party was able to get a legendary shield from doing these breaches. It was the breach closer's kite shield of the mage. It has intelligence focus, but it comes with 4 perks on there. So again, the legendary shields are introduced on the PTR. I have no idea if they'll stay like this. Shields in New World have been a point of contention for a long time. The way they handle these are kind of weird in my opinion in the game, but this did drop as legendary. He did get this out of one of the crates. Whether or not this makes it to live, I have no idea. My guess would be they'd come back and fix that at some point, but who knows? But there was a legendary shield that we found on the PTR from running these breaches. So we probably ran about 5 majors in total and then several minors. And as you can see here, as I opened some of these crates up, for whatever reason on the PTR, we didn't get an animation every single time I opened a crate. But whenever I opened them up, these are the items that we received. One of them was bugged and it still looked like a chest. I have no idea why. That was just how it happened on the PTR. PTR. It did have Ancient Bane on there. I'm not even sure what that was. It was very weird. But then whenever we opened up the other ones, you can see we got a Breach Closer's Great Axe of the Sage. Unfortunately, this had Focus on there. So as you can see, sometimes you do get attributes that don't match the weapon. But nonetheless, you can get lucky and get some very good items out of here. And obviously, the more of these breaches you run, the higher chance you have to get a decent item. And then here I did get a decent rapier that had a couple of decent perks on there. It has Vicious and Lost Bane. Unfortunately, it had Constitution and Strength on there. Whenever I upgraded this to 600, it unfortunately rolled Kind, but as you can see, it could have rolled a different perk on there, and it could have ended up being a really good weapon. We then had, unfortunately, a Great Axe that has Focus on there. Definitely not ideal, but it does have Ancient Bane and Keenly Jagged. Then whenever we upgraded this one, it rolled Shirking Lightning, Ancient Bane, and Keenly Jagged. Again, not a terrible weapon if it would have had the appropriate attribute on there. So as you can see, rolling these is very much RNG, but nonetheless, you could hit a very good item and get it for free. And then as you can see here, I try to upgrade this musket, but this musket does not turn to legendary because it is called a darkened musket. It does not have breach in the title. So just another reminder, those do not roll legendary whenever you spend umbral shards on them. So whenever this goes to live, make sure you're only spending your umbral shards on the items that have breach or void slayer in the title, and then they will upgrade and give you the third perk. Here we have a dexterity musket that has Angry Earthbane, Keen, and Vicious, so not too terrible for a free weapon. So you kind of get the picture here. You can go run these breaches and have an opportunity to get some BiS gear. Again, it is very much RNG. And then here we have a hatchet that has Ancient Bane, Keenly Jagged. Unfortunately, it was a darkened hatchet and not a breach hatchet in the name, so it doesn't upgrade for a third perk, but it is a very good 2-perk hatchet that we got for free by running the corrupted breaches anyway. A lot of times you could probably just purchase a 2-perker for very cheap off of the marketplace, but if you're trying to get legendary gear and trying to get those ever elusive BiS 3 perks, you could go do this and have an opportunity to get the legendary very good gear. So you kind of get the picture here. This is going to be a way that you have an opportunity to get 3-perk BiS gear if you need it, if you want to try to get it for free. Again, it is very RNG like a lot of things in New World, but in my opinion, this is a very good change. I didn't see a lot of people talking about it, so I wanted to just make sure that you guys were aware that this is something that you can do whenever this hits live. But that's going to do it for this one, boys and girls. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of this change. You can now go do these corrupted breaches and get guaranteed ward and bane perks on your gear. You do have a chance to get BiS PvE gear whenever you're doing this, although it is still very much RNG. You never know what you're going to get, but if you're looking for free gear, or if you're just trying to upgrade your gear, this may be an option for you whenever this hits the live servers. Just wanted to keep you guys updated, make sure you're aware of the change. But that's going to do it. Thank you guys again for watching. I appreciate it. If you're into New World, you like New World content, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that as well. And of course, we stream every Monday through Friday over on twitch.tv. It's 8 o'clock a.m. CST, twitch.tv/BDLG. Love to see you come hang out over there. We have a great time. That'll do it for this one. We'll see you in the next one.